All right. Let me say that I'm not inside the mind of Kyrie Irving. I'm not in his inner circle. I have no way of saying that definitively these are the reasons why he left, but these are, in my opinion, are the likely reasons why Kyrie Irving chose to request that the Cleveland Cavaliers organization trade him. And this is what I believe. I think that you have to go back in time to 2011, right? And at this time, LeBron James is in Miami. He's persona non grata in Cleveland. He's still hated in Cleveland by most fans, feel betrayed. And you're Kyrie Irving. You're drafted by the organization, Cleveland Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers, and you have a fine rookie year, outstanding rookie year actually, and you win Rookie of the Year. Now, individually, you're brilliant. Team-wise, the team still struggles, okay? Gone are the years when the Cavaliers are winning 50 and 60 ball games. You know, Cleveland's struggling to win 30 games now. They're just not very good. But Kyrie is the bright spot. And the organization probably felt that even though Kyrie is not a LeBron James, he's not that level player, he's still a skilled enough player where if you put the right pieces together, eventually we can get a team that can be playoff bound and at least contend for, in the East. But then lo and behold, after 2013-14 season, LeBron James announces that he's coming home. And if you're Kyrie Irving, this could be, I don't know, it could be a mix of anticipation and a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of trepidation. You're used to being the number one option. Now, of course, with LeBron James coming back, you're going to be relegated to the second option. Kyrie Irving was still very young at this time, very young. And he probably accepted the fact that he was going to be the second tier player. But, he probably still, silently and secretively wanted to still be, the number one option. But he accepted the fact that he was going to be the second person as far as scoring option. It's just second in the franchise. But he still wanted respect. That's what I think is crucial to Kyrie Irving, feeling respected. And you go through the 2015 NBA season, and you play very well. The Cavaliers make it to the NBA Finals, but you suffer an injury. You and Kevin Love suffer an injury, and you're not able to play in that particular finals. Okay? And the Golden State Warriors win the NBA championship. Everyone praises how well LeBron's played in that particular finals. He played great. He came the closest that any player has ever come to being just the second person to win Finals MVP, despite the fact that his team lost in the NBA Finals. But everyone who watched that Finals will tell you that had LeBron had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, in particular Kevin Love playing with him, the outcome of that Finals would have been different. And Irving believes that intensely. He comes back in the 2015-16 season, starts off slowly, but gets into the groove of things and comes into mid-season form at just the right time. And this time in the NBA Finals, he puts on a show. In particular, the last 3 or 4 games of the Finals. I mean, he was magnificent. One-on-one. And I'm a person that kind of sometimes get accused of romanticizing the past, but one-on-one, Kyrie Irving in the 2016 NBA Finals was at a level that I've seen very, very few players play at. And he was responsible for a couple of those victories. And while LeBron James's block was very important, and it helped to change the momentum of that game, Kyrie Irving's shot over Stephen Curry sealed the deal. All right? But despite the fact that you played at this high level, and you guys won the championship 93-89, the media seemed to, especially as time went by, revised everything and gave to the point where LeBron got all the credit for the finals. Forgotten is Kyrie Irving's 40-point explosions. Forgotten is Kyrie Irving carrying the team offensively when LeBron or nobody else could score. Scoring 15 points in a quarter, 18 points in a quarter, 10 points in a crucial stretch down the stretch in the game. And I think that irritated Irving. Also, what I think irritated Irving was a time during the 2016-17 season when the Cavaliers were struggling, especially on the defensive end. And he called out everybody, including Kevin Love. I remember him particularly calling out Kevin Love to play better, despite the fact that Kevin Love statistically was far improved from the season before. The season before 2015-16, I think Kyrie Irving, if I said Kevin Love, I meant Kyrie Irving earlier. Kyrie Irving was averaging like 19.5 points, shot less than 45% from the floor, only 32% from three-point range. Last season, Kyrie shot 48% from the floor, shot over 40% from three, and 90% from the foul line, averaged 25 points a game. But yet LeBron James is still critiquing me, saying I need to play better. Then you find out, just after the season ends, that despite your performance in the finals in 2016, that LeBron James reportedly told the general manager that he wanted Kyrie Irving traded for his good buddy, Chris Paul. No respect. You never would have heard Michael Jordan go to Jerry Krause or anybody and request that Scottie Pippen be traded. As a matter of fact, Michael Jordan was key and instrumental in stopping Scottie Pippen from being traded for Tracy McGrady. And yes, once again, I did bring up Michael Jordan in a video talking about LeBron James. Everybody does it. But I think these are reasons why Kyrie Irving requested to be traded. I think something else in that equation is, too, Kyrie Irving, we got to remember that his mentor is Kobe Bryant. We all remember that Kobe wanted to get out of Shaq's shadow and be his own man, create his own legacy. And we saw some of the greatest individual performances that we've ever seen. I would not be surprised if next year we see Kyrie Irving lead the NBA in scoring. That's just a guess on my part. But we got to remember, I was right last year because I said that I thought that Russell Westbrook would lead the NBA in scoring, and I thought that he would. The year before, he had 18 triple doubles. I said last year I thought that he probably would get maybe close to 30. I didn't know that he would get 40-something triple doubles, but I could see it coming. With Kyrie, I think that we're going to see some sensational scoring performances from him. I don't know if this is always going to translate to victories for the Boston Celtics, but I think if we get a healthy Kyrie Irving, we're going to see some individually brilliant things. And that's another reason why I think he left. Now, it's true by him being traded from Cleveland to Boston, that he's no longer eligible for it's a certain type of maximum deal that you can get, but it's only if you're with the original team that you were drafted by. So he's no longer eligible for those particular teams. But I think it irritated Kyrie Irving that he has missed some All-Star games as far as being selected to be in an All-Star game. Sometimes because he's overshadowed by other players. And I think it also bothered him that despite his stature in the NBA, he's only been on one All-NBA team in his career. One. And that was, I think, 2016, I think it was. Or it might have been 15, when he was on the All-NBA third team. He's never been on an All-NBA first team. He's never been on an All-NBA second team. And I bring that up because I think that, and I could be wrong here, but I think that with the new collective bargaining agreement, I think that some of these players, maybe if it's with organization, but I think that you get cash incentives for making these teams. And whether that's a motivating factor or not, I don't know. But I do think that it bothers him that he hasn't been named to any of these All-NBA teams. So that's pretty much it. I think that Kyrie Irving is at a stage in his career where he's already won a championship. He has that. Kobe had 3. But I think that he's at a stage in his career where he's 25 years old. He's at the prime of his career. He wants to, like Kobe, I think, wants to be individually seen as one of the greatest players that we've seen, at least of his generation. That's what I think is going on with him. And I think that next year, the Boston Celtics might win something like, I don't know, probably somewhere in the same range of games, maybe a little bit less, because I think they got the lesser of this deal now. I've changed my mind. I thought at first that Boston had the better trade, but now after actually looking at each piece and looking at, how these guys are going to work on each team, I think that Boston might win something like 47 or 48 games. But I think individually, Kyrie Irving is going to be phenomenal, and I think he's going to lead the NBA in scoring, and I think he's going to average something around, if I had to take a guess, something around 30 to 31 points a game, I think. But are the Celtics going to win championships? No. But will Kyrie put asses in seats? Probably. He's not the all-around player that some other point guards are, but when it comes to what people like to see, scoring, I think that he's going to show what he's capable of next year. But that's the reason why I think pretty much Kyrie Irving requested to be traded. I think he just wants to be individually seen as, quote-unquote, the man. I think he just wants to get out of the shadow of LeBron James and create his own legacy elsewhere. He doesn't have the leverage that Kobe had, where he can go to the organization and say, it's going to be me or him. Kobe was that type of level player where he could jettison Shaq out of L.A. Kyrie can't do that. So Kyrie just said, you know what, let me get out of here, keep LeBron here, and I'll create my own legacy elsewhere. That's what I think, at least. But tell me what you guys think.